How about we do it the Asala way?
Do it the Asala way?
Well, listen, we'll give you the exact performance that was done
Oh,
at Drake.
let's see it. Damn, we get that. Yo, you guys, we're gonna get that Drake
exclusive, man.
performance.
This is exclusive.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I don't think we've ever said this before. It was purely choreographed and rehearsed
An hour before we got there.
in the car on the way to Drake's house.
Welcome to another episode of Yalla, Let's Talk. Today we got none other than Wasif and Omar, the men from Asala Dabke. Those guys have performed for Drake. They have been sensational on TikTok. They've been viral. They are still viral. Give it up to Asala, Wasif and Omar.
Wow, you performed for Drake?
Well, it was all right.
Yeah,
It was all right?
Yeah, that introduction's hard, man. But
Yeah, we need a round of applause for that.
What we need a round of applause for is Hani Dajani and Yalla, Let's Talk. That's what we need a round of applause
These
for.
guys are too kind too.
Come on, bro.
Definitely a huge shout out to where Yalla Let's Talk was and where it is today. It definitely deserves that attention.
100%, man.
appreciate
You guys are absolutely crushing it. I've been keeping up with the podcast episodes, and you guys are absolutely crushing it. So
Dude,
I'm
thank you
loving
very
it.
much.
100%, bro.
I hope you rated it as well.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, good. You're gonna have to rate this one too.
I saw your story. Come on. As soon as I saw this story,
Good,
I
good.
gotta rate
Exact,
this.
exact.
No, thank you guys. It really means a lot that you guys are here, and it's a conversation I genuinely wanted to have. Can you tell me a little bit more about how you started Asala, or where you started in Asala, and what you hope to achieve with what you're doing?
I'll let you.
Give me the torch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for
Funny enough, so we weren't the ones that started Asala.
Okay.
Asala actually started in 2007. I was about 6 years old at the time. So I didn't know what Asala was, obviously. And it started out of a need to bring that Arab culture to North America. And what the guys that started, found that, there was weddings happening and there was more and more Arabs coming to North America. And now they wanted to add that touch of culture, that turath, the OG, that Dabke, that Zeffe, and they want to bring that presence to weddings. That's how it started out, and that's what we've been doing since. And through the years, we've been adding our own little twist to it, adding in that North American influence. Having a lot of the guys grew up here and they grew up in Canada. So we are very influenced by hip hop. We're very influenced
100%.
by North American culture, right? So it's almost what Asala now has become is a mix of both identities.
It's a representation of your identity.
Literally. And that's what we hope to always push, and we hope to continue pushing that Arab culture forward into the big stage.
You guys pushed it so much. Yeah, a round of applause for that.
I was rehearsing that all last night.
I love it. Well, you definitely aced that.
Yeah, no, that was definitely well put. I mean, it's gone through so many different generations that the ideas that were there at the beginning, mixed with the ideas that were there throughout the whole time, mixed with our ideas, all these have been collaborated together and consolidated in a way that now it's all one big entity. And it's pretty cool because we still get that support from the people that were there in the past. As Wasif mentioned, our DJ Hani deserves a shout out.
There's another DJ.
Oh yeah, DJ.
Damn.
Yeah, no, funny enough.
I was like, there's another Hanny.
Yeah.
Thought I trademarked that name.
They're definitely
You have to.
They always have.
If
their
you look
input.
here, it says 26th. So I was the 26th to join the group. So there's 25 that came before me, and those are the ones that laid the foundation. And none of what Asala is now could have happened without them and their support and all that. What they laid down the groundwork.
So what you're trying to say is Asala is secretly a cult. Is that? I'm kidding. Is
Low key.
you guys looked at me and was like,
Yo, don't put that in.
no, but it
what it
sounds
is?
like a brotherhood to me.
A brotherhood. That's exactly right. And that's what we always say. Like it is a brotherhood. It's like when we're doing this and we're doing it, it's not easy. Like we're especially in the summers, man. It's like we're going 3 days a week, and that's on top of having school or work or your own business that you're running. On top of that, to dedicate 3 days a week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to weddings and events. It takes a mental toll. It takes a physical toll on you. But man, it is so fun just because of the sole fact that you're doing this with your brothers.
Correct.
Well, that's what's going to be my follow-up question is what actually motivates you to keep doing this? Because it does seem like it takes up a lot of time.
Yeah. And it's a good question, and to just take it a little bit back to the question before. It's actually very interesting because the guys that we bring into the group, they don't necessarily have to do or know how to do Dabke. we kind of bring them in based on do we believe these guys are able to actually help us push this cultural image that we're trying to portray forward, if that makes sense. But that also pushes into the motivational aspect of it too, right? Is speaking of the airport test.
And have you heard of the airport test, Andy?
You gotta.
No,
you
what
gotta
is the
tell 'em
airport
about
test?
it.
It's like okay, let's say you're looking to hire somebody for Yalla Let's Talk right now. Okay. The first thing you would ask yourself is, and this is like super big in consulting because they travel a lot. Okay. So you want to hire somebody. First thing you would ask is, do I want to spend 3 hours stranded in an airport with this person? Because at the end of the day, it's like work is work, right? But you're going to be interacting with these people day in and day out. And you want to make sure that, you guys have a vibe, you guys have some kind of chemistry and some kind of bond that will lift you out of tough times, right? And will make it'll just make it so much better. So that's the number one thing that we ask ourselves whenever we bring anybody onto the team is, do we want to spend 3 hours stranded in an airport with this person? Do they fit our vibe? Do they have the same vision that we have? And once they check that box off, Dabke doesn't matter, Zefi doesn't matter. That's our main priority.
So how would you guys describe your vibe? Like, what is the culture at Asala Dabke? Tell me a little bit more. Let me see if I pass this airport test.
Damn, what is the vibe? I would say, honestly, it is just purely playful. Like, even if you look at a lot of our TikToks, like, we don't take ourselves seriously. A lot of things we don't even take seriously. Like we love to just have fun, joke around.
Yeah.
We love to make people laugh. And Yani, at the end of the day, a lot of what we try to do on TikTok is just make people laugh and make people, enjoy the culture that we present. Like that's our goal in essence, right? So that plays into like how we interact with each other is like we're constantly making jokes or, constantly like messing around with each other. And it just makes it so much more fun, like especially when we travel.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And I mean, aside from all that, Asala, for the majority of the guys in the group, is something they do on the side. And you do it to release that stress that you do with whatever you do mainly. So whenever I need a break from work, what I do on a day-to-day basis, the first thing I think of is Asala, because it truly does bring that joy. That okay, what do we need to do to keep this going? You know what I mean, and to keep the guys more connected to push this forward.
Well, it's like I said earlier, it does sound like you guys have a brotherhood. Like you guys are not just friends, you're not coworkers.
Yeah.
You guys are genuinely like family. And what I appreciate about what you also discussed right now is like you are really pushing this this culture of blending the West and the East together to the point where Mr. Drake, Champagne Pappy himself, requested you for his birthday. Can you tell us a little bit more about how was it like meeting Drake?
It was surreal. I think like literally that's something we always say. It was surreal, and the best thing that came out of that, of course, meeting Drake, like first of all, he was actually a very, very like genuinely nice guy.
Yeah.
Like he actually was very, very chill, super humble.
Yeah.
Right. And we grew up, I grew up listening to Drake. I'm sure you too. A lot of the guys, that actually went that day, we all know who Drake is and he is a Canadian icon. But what was really, really cool about that entire experience is after it happened, and alhamdulillah, like it happened, it is surreal. But after that happened, there was so much press coverage on it, right? Like it was everywhere. It was on Al Jazeera, Cosmopolitan, Vice News, Complex, right? Like it was everywhere. And the best part about it is the headlines were saying Palestinian Dabke group, Arab Dabke group performed for Drake, Palestinian Dabke group performed for Drake. So when have we ever seen, the Arab culture, Palestine or anything like that being portrayed in national media positively? And I was like, that was the best part that came out of all of it, and that's bigger than us, bigger than Drake, that pushing that culture forward, that was the biggest takeaway from it. And I love that.
That's powerful, man. That's very
Honestly,
powerful.
He said it all. Like, it's
man's
literally
dropping some
what mattered the most is that image that was portrayed, not only from an Arab perspective, but from a Palestinian perspective. And exactly what he said, the headline said the Palestinian Dabke group. We didn't care about the name Asala being involved as much as the name Palestinian being involved.
So why was that important for you?
Because we're trying to show the Western Arab identity in a way that is attractive to the young generation, influential as well, to push this young generation forward to be proud of this identity. Because you know, if we're gonna say the truth, it's kind of hard to portray it and show that identity and be proud of it in the Western world. And you know, we're here to just push the idea of it's okay, and it is cool to do such thing. You know what I mean? And I think that is the crucial idea of where we're trying to head in Asala. It's a responsibility more than anything. You know what I mean?
You ever?
I love that.
You remember when, like, I remember this when I was younger. Okay, and let's say I would go to school. Okay, and I would have my lunch, and my lunch would be like zayt wa za'atar sandwich or a Lebanese sandwich or whatever. You know, and when you're younger, right? It's like there's so much pressure just living, you know, in North America. You're pressured to not really show your Arabness, right? So I would pull out my zayt wa za'atar on pita bread, and you know, I would be embarrassed because I'm looking around like, oh, like I don't have a Lunchables, you know, pack or whatever, and I'm not almost, you know, I'm not proud. Not that I was like, of course I was proud, but I was in a way like embarrassed, like, oh no, I have to fit in, right? I can't be pulling up with my pita bread zayt wa za'atar sandwich, right? I need to fit in. And thinking back, it's like, I really wish when I was younger, I wish I had a Arab figure to look up to that lived the same life that I lived, that lived in North America, okay? And express their Arabness, because that would have made me feel a lot more proud to express my Arabness. So all that to say, I think that's what we hope to do. We want to be that you know, that figure for this little boy or girl growing up in North America to show them that, hey, being Arab is cool as hell. We have a beautiful culture, okay? And let's show it off, because it is, honestly, in my opinion, one of the best things in the world.
I love it. Culture makes a big difference. It brings you a sense of community. It's art, and it's definitely something to be very proud of. And what I find very interesting with what you said, and I think a lot of people can relate to it, is when we're young, we feel this sense of shame, like, hey, I don't want to bring this zayt wa za'atar. I don't want to bring this hummus,
1,000%.
right? But then as we get older, now everyone eats hummus. Everyone, and I guarantee you, mark my words, within 10 years, zayt wa za'atar is going to be the next commodity. It's going to be like positioned for vegans and all that kind of stuff.
You're going to find Nutella zayt wa za'atar.
Oh, 100%. But it's, as we get older, we get kind of like this spark of an interest in our culture. And it happens for a lot of people. And I just want to ask you guys, was this something that happened to you like gradually, or was it when you entered university, you just felt the need, you wanted to embrace your culture? Like, how did you start embracing your culture?
To me, I honestly think Asala did. You know, being in Asala, having a group energy that's trying to achieve something versus you doing it on your own. I mean, in everything you do in life, you would always feel a lot more motivated doing it with someone rather than doing it alone. And especially if you're trying to fight an image that is not really common where you live, or is not really common where you're fighting it. So I think Asala was the main reason that opened my eyes to this specific topic, and you know, gave me that boost of energy and motivation to push this idea forward. I'm sure he'll probably say this.
Like man, my Arabic before Asala, post Asala, like
massive, completely changed, 100%.
So tips for learning Arabic: join the Dabke group.
Yeah,
literally,
100%. Join the Dabke group.
No, like 100% what he said. Like just joining that, and then it's like you don't realize how beautiful our culture is until you begin to study it. Like I started searching up like how Dabke originated, and then I would go and you know, like start doing like Google searches of like old like Palestinian folklore songs or like Turath songs, and it just, you find like, okay, wow, like it's so rich, so rich.
It's beautiful. It's art. And
yes.
So you mentioned Asala was the catalyst that got you into embracing a culture. Well, what even was before that? Like, what sparked you guys to go to Asala in the first place? Was it a friend? Like, how did you guys get involved in a Dabke group?
It's an interesting question, but as I said, how Asala moved through different generations. once it reached to us, our generation, it was through friends. And that's how Asala has been going. It's always been friends of friends, family of friends, brothers of friends that keep joining the group. So the way myself and Wasif joined was through friends that were originally in the group and still are, technically, a lot of them still are, that brought us in when we had absolutely zero knowledge about Zaffa, about Dabke, and it's true. You know, maybe this is the secret we're sharing today, is that when we first joined, we had no knowledge about what we do today, and the fact that we had the ability to bring it to where it's at today is just, you know, you can't let go of it. It's just it pulls you more, even more, every single day.
Do you guys think you'll ever pass the torch to someone else?
Don't bring that up.
I don't want to think about that. Right?
it's like, listen, at one point I'm like, we're gonna be too old to do Dabke. Like, right? Like, I hope that never
You're
comes.
never too old to do that.
Listen, 100%. You're never too old, but I'm scared I might be too old to do it at a level that the bride and groom will be happy with. See, like, you know, so yes, like it might happen, but as long as the vision of Asala keeps being pushed forward, then it'll be okay to let it go and let somebody else, you know, take that torch and run with it. And heck, they'll probably run even further than we did, or we hope so. But you know, who knows? I don't want. I don't want to think about.
You don't want to think about.
We don't want to think about
Yeah.
it. But I mean, the idea of Asala has been to always pass down the torch, and to always keep this pushing forward, and that's what's necessary here, right? Is who's going to be the best to take this on and bring the best out of it. And if we brought the best out of it, then who's the best to maintain it? And that's kind of how Asala has been functioning, and that's how it should keep going. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, the goal is the cultural aspect of it, and especially that we're here in the Western world.
I love the fact that it's not like, it's, for you guys, Asala is not about an organization. It's not about like, here's a group. It's really about the mission of bringing culture to this part of the world and redefining what that culture looks like. Because what you guys are doing is not even just bringing in like just traditional Zaffa. You put like spins to it, and you do like really cool things. Like I follow you guys on TikTok. I've seen some of the music that you remix to it. And with that, I want to transition to the next segment of Yalla, Let's Talk with Wasif and Omar, which is playing a little game. So you guys, I asked you guys to bring your drum for one reason. That's the drum. I don't know if anyone can see it, but that's the drum right there.
That's the drum right there.
That's the drum right
Which
there.
camera are we looking at?
Which one?
That's the drum.
That's the drum. Yeah. But what I've noticed what you guys do is like, you remix every possible song and it sounds so much better.
We try.
Like, so let's put that to the test. Okay,
Let's do it.
Spin the wheel and see what songs you can remix. And I'm gonna try to bring my laptop here without without removing the microphone. Let's see. I don't know if the audience can see, but here you go. Let's see. Number one. Okay, let's spin the wheel and see.
I'm excited.
What song are they gonna do?
Oh,
Aslam Najah.
it's the man.
Let's do it.
Funny enough, and it's so on topic of what we're talking about right now. Like, you have a Palestinian Jordanian singer that reached #1 on the charts. Like, that's crazy. And he was like globally #1, right? Like, it was like I think it was like #1 TikTok song.
One of the #1 TikTok songs, one of the most streamed TikTok songs. I think it was even the most Shazam TikToks, or so one of the most Shazam songs. Forget TikTok.
Yeah, so dope.
Yeah.
And then also, he's one of the most streamed Arabic artists. Can you believe that? And he's 19.
Honestly, he definitely deserves it, and it's definitely something to be proud of.
100%.
As an Arab, I'm proud of it, because to see a song with Arabic lyrics and pushed to the Western world and all over the world.
Everywhere, man.
Everybody was listening
Everywhere.
to that song. And
Yo,
it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
He has another song too, and Saki.
Yeah, we actually just posted a TikTok today with that sound.
Did you actually?
Yeah, he's dope, man.
Yeah.
I'm loving what he's doing, and I think he's like Arabic house. It's such a dope concept.
It's amazing.
Such a dope concept, right? And I think it has massive potential.
Shout out
I
Aslam
agree.
and Najjar.
Yeah.
Shout out.
We
And
love
this,
you.
this is about to be for you, man. I think that's good. Yeah. I think that's good.
Is that 1.25?
That's 1.25.
Ayo. حضل احبك
Okay, let's see.
Keep going.
Okay,
man.
let's do another one. Let's do another one. Let's
do
keep
another
spinning.
one.
Let's
Let's do
keep
another
spinning. We got next one.
Peppers.
Peppers. Let's do it. Yo, look at us. Look at you guys. I'm not
do
doing
it.
anything.
I'm not doing anything either. man.
We gotta drop this guy's pay. Come
Okay.
on.
I know. All right, are you guys ready?
I'm
Let's
bored.
do
All right, let's go.
Nah, this is. I love this song. I think it is one of the best songs
All-time
It's
high.
a dope
all
song.
time.
All-time high.
You guys, this is the time for like Latin, Arabic.
Yeah.
Yo, we got to change it up, you know?
Wasn't there a collab that happened? It was like a big Arab artist.
Hiba Tawaji and Luis Fonsi.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was dope.
That was dope.
So cool.
Okay, we'll play that song too. Let's go. It's okay.
I'm sorry. All right. Here we go.
That Yalla Let's Talk was gonna become Yalla Let's Dance. I love it.
Yalla, let's Dabke.
Yalla Let's Dabke. Okay. Let's see do we got here.
Headline one.
Headline one.
Sing it for me.
Yo, do we even need the music?
Let's play the music. Let's play the
Okay,
music.
let's do it.
That's what's tough, man.
This is your
أنا
song.
أكيد أنت وأنا أحلى.
See, it's like that drill vibe.
How about we do it the Asala way?
Do it the Asala way?
Well, listen, we'll give you
Okay.
the exact performance that was done
Oh,
at Drake.
let's see. Damn, we get that. Yo, you guys, we're gonna get
This is
that Drake
exclusive, man.
performance.
This is exclusive.
Yeah.
And funny enough, this entire what we're about to do right now was, I don't think we've ever said this before. It was purely choreographed and rehearsed
An hour before we got there.
in the car on the way to Drake's house.
Yeah.
But we're like, what are we gonna do? And we just put this together.
That's probably what made it so like viral. It's just
100%.
organic and it's
That's
just
very
fun.
organic.
a solid
Very
way of doing it.
A
You just
solid
do it
way to do
organic,
it.
genuine, and we just
Asala taught me that it'll just end up working out somehow. At the end of the day. Everything in Asala teaches me this, man.
How do we start it?
Arabic thing.
Arabic thing told me.
Look like Yusuf, look like Hamza. Habibti, please. أنا أكيد أنت وأنا أحلى. She said, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mama. I'm sorry. She said, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mama. I'm sorry. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I haven't had a good time in a long time. I'm way up. I feel blessed. Yalla, yalla, yalla. Way up. I feel well, happy birthday. Wow, we still remember it, huh?
The fact that we still remember this almost.
Dude, that's amazing.
And then we went into Happy Birthday, and That he loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the best. I'm like, his reaction, even if you look at the video and he's like dancing, I was like, wow. Like,
This is a whole surprise for him, right?
yeah, it wasn't like it was he didn't know we were coming. It was somebody that brought us to surprise him.
Oh, that's so cool. How did that guy reach out to you
It was
guys?
a birthday gift.
It was a
He
birthday
just-
gift.
Damn.
Yo, Instagram.
He just
DMs.
You're like, is this real?
Oh, we didn't we genuinely did not believe it up until we went into the house.
Until we actually walked in. But and then the stressful part was that, you know, you're getting booked, you're going to Drake's house for his birthday. What are you gonna do to him? What are we gonna sing? What are we gonna there was absolutely no like performance ready whatsoever. So we had to get everything ready on the way. But, you know, pick a uniform, get the right, you know, equipment and everything, and the instruments. I mean, and it was just that part was very stressful. Trying to do something to impress someone in the music industry with music that was just very, very tough to take in. But he was vibing a lot more than we were. You know what I mean? Which was not what we expected at all.
You know what's funny? I was actually in a group project. Because we got booked like literally the night before is when they reached out
At 1 a.m.
Yeah. So I'm in a group and we have this thing. It's called like 48-hour reports. It's like a project that you only have 48 hours to complete. Okay. So imagine the position I'm in where I have to explain to my team that I need to leave right midway through the project because I'm going to perform at Drake's house. Would you have believed me?
I would not have believed it. I'm like, this guy's just trying to like free ride. Like, I was like, I'm not putting up with that.
try to get my 80 and leave. So and they were
amazing,
so
though.
understanding, surprisingly. And then like as soon as I walked in, I'm like sending them pictures like, hey guys, I promise I wasn't lying.
One guy missed an exam. One guy missed out on a business
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah.
There was stuff going left and right. But it worked out. Yeah.
So this is actually one of the main questions I wanted to ask you guys. Like, how do you balance between like Dabke, Asala, school, Lamitna, your other organization? Like, how do you balance everything?
Wow, it's a very good question,
It is,
honestly.
it
And
is.
if I had to say put in my 2 cents here, I would say that as I said earlier, it releases the stress of what you do. When I'm doing something and I'm getting stressed out with my work or lamitna or whatever it is, I take a break by working on something Asala related. But Asala is a passion, and it's not really a job. So I don't consider it being one of the things I'm doing. I am Asala. It's a part of my identity now, and it's just to do what we do doesn't really require more effort or more attention. It's like we want to do this. We're giving it the time and attention because you know what I mean? And it's not really like doing a job and being forced to wake up at 9 a.m. to work a 9 to 5 job, and at 5 p.m. you would log off. No, like Asala is an ongoing thing in all of our minds, and
You're passionate.
it's literally passion, and to me passion doesn't require a time slot in your day. It's ongoing.
So what advice would you have for people who have something they're passionate about, but they also happen to be students or at work and have other commitments as well?
It's a very good question, and I'll answer that, and then Wasif can get back to his opinion on this. But it was one of the biggest lessons that I learned is that if you've got free time, then you should know that there's something wrong. If you're going to school and then you have 6 hours, 7 hours of your day after school that you're not doing anything in, then you should know that there's something wrong. And whether it's something that you're learning, whether it's something that it's a business that you can start, whether it doesn't necessarily have to be money making.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Passion doesn't necessarily have to be money making, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. I think honestly, use that time, and we saw that during COVID. A lot of people had so much time on their hands, and we saw so many Instagram businesses and so many people popping off. And
so cool.
And a part of the reason why Asala is here today was because of COVID. And it just shows that using that time efficiently, not when you're forced to, but when you want to. Uh, Definitely use that time to grow your passion and dig into that a lot deeper. And you'll definitely succeed. Risk always has an outcome.
I like that. I like the fact that you mentioned that if you have free time, like, hey, what are you doing with your time?
100%.
Man,
100%.
time is valuable. Time
Time
is
is
money.
money.
Time is money.
No, time is valuable.
Yeah.
But and like, of course, never overwork yourself. Like maintain above everything your mental health and your mental well-being. That's number one priority.
100%.
With the Asala example, I think we got very lucky in the sense that our job, like our job or side hustle is also what we are very passionate about. And like, like the cheesy line where they say it's like, love what you do and you'll never work a day in your life. You heard that before? It's like, that's literally what we do. So it's like, I don't look at it as like like I'm juggling 3 different things. I got work, I got a business, I got Asala. Cause I'm not juggling it. It's more so like, okay, I'm going to school and then, I have, a business that I'm working on. Okay. And then during the weekend, I'm going to go out with my friends to perform at a wedding and we're going to have fun and we're going to enjoy it. And that's my balance. Like that is what makes it doable.
So for you, instead of like going out for dinner with friends, like I'm gonna go and have fun with the boys and perform and Asala.
Exactly.
And I appreciate so many things with what you guys have said. You mentioned time. You mentioned the fact that this is something that you genuinely love and you're passionate about. And one thing, like I'm even like reflecting on my own experience, even with Yalla, let's talk. When you're doing things you enjoy and you love, it's like you said, you don't feel like it's work because it's something you just genuinely grow to love. And what I
1,000%.
and what I realized for myself as well is that when I first started, I didn't necessarily like was passionate about it. I was like, okay, this is something I'm meant to be doing, or I love what I'm doing. It just, you start and then you start developing and you grow and you're like, okay, I really enjoy this. I want to know, when was it for you guys when you're like, this is something I genuinely love to do and this is something that brings me happiness and joy?
I'll tell you when, for me, I always enjoyed it, to like baseline level, enjoyment was always there. Once we got into content creation, it just flew through the charts because to me, I was like, okay, like it's so cool to do this at a local level. Like we're going to weddings throughout Southwestern Ontario, Toronto, Windsor, London, like we're going back and forth. Okay. We're doing weddings here and okay, like this is so cool. Now let's just scale it way up and, you can post the TikTok and it's there for the entire world to see. And then it's like, now it's like, okay, not only are we pushing our vision locally, now we're pushing our vision globally. And I'm like, okay, wow, like this is so cool. And then I'm like, okay, I don't ever want to stop this. Like I want to keep doing this because it's like whenever it gets tough, and this isn't to say like Asala is not easy, right? Like it does get tough sometimes. It takes a big stress on your body, even mentally. Like you can't maintain high energy levels 24/7, right? And that's what's required. But even when it gets tough, it's like that vision and that overarching goal of Asala of pushing Arab culture forward. That gives me that inspiration to say, okay, like the onus is on us, the pressure is on us. We gotta pull through and do it.
And of course, like exactly what he said. It was, once we realized that we're able to project our voice to a bigger audience, and it was a lot easier for us to send a message to not only our community but to the entire world. It started feeling like a responsibility that we're trying to send a message here, and we need to send it in the right way to the right people, and portray it in the best way possible. And once that became a thing, I feel like that's what kind of pushed the passion factor between a lot of the guys, forward big time. And that's when we actually started seeing a lot of the success that the group has seen.
Incredible, because you just said what I think is the secret sauce of any success. When you take something and not make it about you, but about the purpose you're serving others. And for you guys, it's serving the mission, what you want is what you hope to see, the representation in media. And what I really liked what you said, Wasif, and I think this is something that not a lot of people realize, is organizations nowadays and entities can become media companies. And you guys are a media entity. As content creators, this is how you're bringing Zefbe to the Western world. People don't necessarily need to attend an Arabic wedding to see it. They just need to scroll and if they pass the vibe check and their algorithm comes for you guys, boom, they get to see some Zeffas.
Yeah.
And so I find that very fascinating. I think anybody who is listening to this, and if you are passionate about something that you're doing, consider content
it.
creation. And would you say?
Go get it.
Go get it.
honestly.
Yes. Go get it. And content creation, I think, is something that's
creation.
very
It is
underrated.
underrated and
Underrated or overrated?
perfectly rated.
Rated.
I think it depends which generation you ask. If you ask Gen Zers, I think it's like everyone is content creators. It's part of your lifestyle. But if you ask someone like in my age group, a little older, it's not that common, right? But you want to say something?
You know what I'll say, and this is like just like a tip for anybody on social media is make sure your interaction with social media is healthy. Like make sure it's positive because you can really get bogged down in the numbers. You can really get bogged down. Oh, like I posted this. Oh, the likes are not there. The views are not there. Forget that. Like don't focus on views. If you know, and that was honestly one of, oh, geez, I have this one second. That was, you know, one of the things that it took me the longest to figure out with Asala is like, screw the numbers. Like don't focus on, you know, like let's say you're just starting out as a content creator and you post something and it's not getting, you know, the hundreds and thousands or millions of views. It doesn't matter. Like that's not what the goal should be. The goal should be, am I pushing my purpose forward? Okay. And then, you know, before and like legitimately my mood for the day would be dependent on how well did that TikTok do that day. Right. And I would have like a baseline of like, oh, like did it hit 100K? Oh, like if it didn't, oh, like crap. Like I'm not as happy as I am on other days when it's like, oh, the video popped off and now I'm like over the moon and I'm very happy. Now, as I kind of got older and our experience, we became more experienced in social media. Now that's not what I focus on. Now it's a matter of, hey, like what message do we want to send out? You know, are we pushing that message forward? Are we? Cool. Did that video pop off? Did it not? I don't care. Right? Like that's not what the goal is. Now it's a matter of, are we achieving our purpose?
It's a common mentality, man. It's a very good point because it's not really just with content creation, but content creation portrays it very well. But it's literally on a day to day. Like some people choose to get certain jobs just for the money aspect of how much that job pays, when they're not necessarily good at that job. You know what I mean?
Or happy in it.
Yeah. Exactly. And when you're not good at a job, you're not going to be satisfied on a day-to-day basis during that job. You know what I mean? So really the views in this example is money. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, because nowadays, as you said it, you know, this new generation, it's all about, oh, I want to be a content creator now. Let me find something to portray to the world. You know what I mean? But a lot of people just want to do it just to get to the goal of having a lot of views and
for the clout or like the money or whatever. And that shouldn't be the focus.
Definitely.
One of my favorite quotes, and I think this always goes in the back of my mind, is that what do you want to be known for? Like the content that you're putting out there. Like there's some content you can put it out there and you can get millions of followers and millions of likes. But is this what you want to be known for?
100%.
So let's ask you guys, what do you want to be known for?
Well, I actually got asked this question a little bit like recently, and it was such a tough question, but it's such a good question because it's like you think of like, okay, our time, you know, is all limited, you know, and it's like you start thinking forward, like, okay, what am I going to be remembered for, or you know, what am I going to be known as? Honestly, at the base level, it's like, what do we want to be known for? We want to be known as, you know, just like good, genuine people that did good in the world.
What does Wasif want to be known for?
Damn. Okay, so I'll answer in a couple ways. On social media, what we want to be known for, or what I want to be known for, is a group that was able to bring Arab culture to the stage, okay, and put it in the spotlight and allow people to be comfortable and proud of their culture socially. Okay, that's like social media, like that's our goal. Okay. As a person, as like, you know, like within my friends and within like Asala, like just thinking of like, okay, like how do the guys interact with each other? What I want to be known for, even like amongst the guys, is just, you know, somebody that did good by his brothers, right? And always, you know, worked for something, for a much bigger purpose. And that purpose is our vision of Asala. and that's what we hoped. That's what I hope to be known for, at least. So.
Yeah, I love it.
Wow.
What do you hope? What do you hope
What
to be
about you?
known for, Mr. Barzak?
No, it's actually a very, very good question, and I'm glad that I kind of got the time to think about it while he was answering. But
I just freestyled it, man.
no, it's interesting because, you're trying to. What I'm trying to be known for is being that influential person in the community. That's influential in a positive way, if that makes sense. There's a lot of influencers nowadays. You know what I mean? And of course, I don't want to mention names, whether they're big or not. There's people that actually influence the world in so many different directions, and where I want to take part in, or what I want to take part in, is a movement that, I mean, what are we here for? That's the main question, right? It's, we have an identity that we're trying to push forward, and we have, whether it's religion, whether it's culture, country, and especially us from Palestine, it's a worldwide thing.
Free Palestine.
This is our job. This is a task for us to try and push this image as forward as possible. And I think, as Wasif said, from a social media perspective, the goal is to partake in a movement more than anything.
Grassroots movement.
I love it. Well, you guys are already making that impact. And it reminds me of another thing, is that you're right. We do see a lot of influencers, and I think we are now in an economy, in a situation where there's so many different influencers. But one thing I really hope a lot of people who are interested in the world of content creation remember is not about the number of followers you have. It's not about you being an influencer. It's what impact are you making? Yeah. It's the impact, right? Yep. It's not about the numbers. It's about the impact. And I feel like just seeing what you guys have done, I can see that impact, right? You brought culture to, not to use Drake as like the epitome, but you brought culture to Drake. Yeah, you brought it to headlines. You're bringing it every day, and the way you guys carry yourselves and making our culture very cool and hip and more towards a reflection of who we are, especially in this part of the world. So I really do commend you.
Thank you.
And before I conclude with this, I did say there's two more, the spins. I want one more spin.
Okay, 100%.
And then I was like, yo, we got to spin it one more time.
100% we have to.
And then we got to ask you one more question.
Oh, I'm excited for that question.
Okay, so let's do that spin. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay.
Sorry, I got carried
No, yo. So because the laptop has ran out of battery, I want to leave it to you guys to pick the last song. How do we want to finish this off?
Should we sing something?
Yeah,
let's give him something.
All right.
I think what we should sing, it only makes sense. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
وين عرم الله؟
وين
عرم
Hey.
الله وين عرم الله واللي فيها مسافر وين عرم الله داب قلبي والله داب قلبي والله داويت قلبي داب قلبي والله وين يا حبيبي وين يا حبيبي رايح
I feel like I'm getting married. Wait. Hey.
حظ ونصيبي حظ ونصيبي ريتك من الله حظ ونصيبي وساري سار الليل وساري سار الليل حب حبيبك سار الليل وساري سار الليل حب حبيبك سار الليل وساري سار الليل العب يلا 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 ايوه
Hey, guys, that was amazing. You guys catch Asala Dabke at any wedding, any event, any festival.
The
you
question
guys,
is, when are you getting married, Hanny? Come
bro,
on,
this is yo, my parents are gonna be seeing this and they're gonna be like, oh my god, let's take him to Amman.
I love that, man. I love that.
But no, you guys, thank you so much for coming.
It was a pleasure. Man.
Yo, you guys, you told us a lot about balance. You told us about the passion you have for Asala and for what you guys do and how you maintain that your well-being. I'm very, very proud to know you guys and what you're doing for the culture is incredible.
Our pleasure, man.
Allah,
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us, man. Like this
Honestly.
I'm telling you, I do watch the podcast and I think this is such a cool concept. It looks beautiful, first of all. And like shout out to you and your team, the men behind the camera over there.
Yeah.
Shout out Hazim.
MVP.
Like you guys are absolutely
MVP
crushing
for
it.
sure.
Like this looks gorgeous. The concept is sick, and I think you've had some tremendous guests on so far, and you know I don't know if we match that the energy of the caliber of these guests, but thank you for having us.
Honestly,
Man.
like Yalla, let's talk has been going for so many years, and inshallah, more success and
You guys
more
were growing that
accomplishments.
ecosystem, and I'm very proud
100%,
to be doing it with
100%.
you guys.
100%.
So
I appreciate you, man.
You know, what I love is like we're meeting more and more people like yourself that, and like we all have that same goal and that same vision, and it literally is like you said, growing that ecosystem.
I love it.
And man, I can't wait to see where this goes, inshallah, in 5-10 years.
Yeah,
Sky's the
absolutely.
limit,
Like, you
man.
see what happened in the past couple of years since
Literally.
the pandemic.
Honestly, yeah,
Oof.
yeah, it's crazy.
That is crazy.
You guys, one last thing. Tell the audience. I don't know which camera is yours.
That
or one of
one.
the. Okay, this one. Where they can find you guys, and say the last few words.
Asala Dabke on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Al Asala Dabke group, Facebook as well. If you wanna,
If you still use Facebook,
you know what I mean. But yeah, we'll
you
leave
can
it.
even find us on Snapchat if you want to keep up with the day to day of Asala Dabke. It's
Snapchat.
we showcase all what we do, everything like
Love
before weddings. We showcase the prep.
You also got to make sure to follow Yalla Let's Talk, and
Hey.
if this is on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and Yalla.
Let's talk.
Yalla, let's talk.